Good evening, sweetheart. It's Maggie. Come sit with me. Let's make this night a gentler one. Tonight is January 11th, 2026. The sky is clear, no rain, and somehow that makes the quiet feel a little more honest. There's no tapping on the window to soften the edges, no familiar rhythm to lean against, just still air holding its breath with us. I've just settled into my chair, the same one that greets me every evening with a polite little sound, as if to say, "You're here now. I've been waiting." At this age, I find comfort in things that announce themselves gently. I set my tea down on the table beside me. Chamomile. Not because I needed to fix anything, only because it asks so little of me. The steam rises thin and quiet, like a thought deciding whether it belongs here. Before I speak to you tonight, before I tell you anything at all, I want to pause just for a moment. I want to offer a small prayer, not the kind with formal words, not the kind that expects answers, just a whisper. A careful one. I pray that if today felt heavy, this evening might feel lighter. That if your shoulders are still holding the shape of effort, they may soften now. And that if you don't know what you need, you won't feel pressured to need anything at all. I stir the tea once, only once. Some things lose their calm if we insist too much. Tonight, the world outside is quiet, truly quiet. No rain falling now, but somewhere far back in memory, there it is, a sound that belongs to another time, another evening. Some comforts don't need to arrive again to be felt. Age teaches you that, how memory can hum beneath the present without disturbing it. Lily just moved at my feet. She always does that when my thoughts wander too far ahead of my body, as if reminding me that I'm still here, that this moment has weight. I rest my hand on her back, not to pet, just to be there. Touch without instruction, presence without expectation. Before turning on the lamp, I sit in the dimness a few seconds longer, not because I fear the light, but because I like to let the night speak first. Then the light comes softly, warm, uninterested in being impressive. It creates a small circle, just enough for a chair, a cup, a faithful dog, and the quiet company between us. I've learned something over the years. Every evening has a threshold, and before crossing it, it helps to bow, not in submission, but in gratitude. I close the door gently. The outside world can wait its turn. Sweetheart, before I share any stories tonight, before I tell you where my thoughts wandered today, I want you to know this. This evening has already been prayed for, carefully, tenderly, in the way I know how. And when you're ready, we'll begin. The lamp beside me has settled into its glow now, not brighter, not dimmer, just ready. It's an old thing, older than most of the habits I still keep. The brass has dulled in places where my fingers have found it again and again, always in the same small, familiar way. Some objects learn your touch the way people learn your voice. I didn't turn on the overhead light tonight. I almost never do. There's something about a single source of light that feels more honest, like a conversation that doesn't raise its voice. When I shifted in my chair just now, the lamp cast a longer shadow across the wall. It moved slowly, as if it needed permission. I watched it stretch, then settle, finding its place without complaint. This lamp has listened to me for decades. It has heard things I never said out loud, thoughts shaped only by breath, tears that never made a sound, laughter pressed quietly into a sleeve. It never responded. It never needed to. In my 40s, I used to believe that being heard required words. Now I know better. Some listening happens simply because something stays. I lifted my tea again, felt the warmth through the porcelain, and let it rest there, between my palms, not my lips. There's a patience to that kind of holding, a trust that the moment won't disappear if you don't rush it. Just a small sound, enough to remind the room that I'm still here. The lamp's light pools gently on the table, catching the faint scratch near the edge, the one I promised myself I'd sand down years ago. I never did. Now I'm glad. Imperfections give light somewhere to pause. I've noticed something over the years. When evenings feel too loud inside, it helps to keep the light low, as if the room knows how much truth you're ready to see. There was a time when I needed brighter lamps, stronger ones. Back then, I was afraid of missing something important. Now, I'm more afraid of overlooking what's already here. Lily sighed just now, the long kind, the kind that says, "This is safe." I think animals understand light better than we do. They know when a space is settled. I reached over earlier and straightened the lampshade, just a fraction, an unnecessary gesture. But sometimes tending to small things is how we care for ourselves without making it obvious. This lamp has seen many versions of me. The woman who stayed up late writing lists. The one who waited by the phone. The one who learned how to sit without filling every silence. It still shines the same way. That feels like grace. I lean back now, letting the chair support what I no longer need to hold. The light doesn't chase me. It stays where it is, steady, generous, unbothered. Sweetheart, if there's something you've been carrying quietly, something that hasn't found words yet, you don't need to explain it here. This light knows how to listen, and tonight, so do I. We can sit a little longer before moving on. The lamp isn't going anywhere. I bring the cup a little closer now, not to drink just yet, only to feel it there. The warmth moves through the porcelain first, then into my palms, then somewhere deeper, where the day finally loosens its grip. Tea at my age isn't about taste. It's about permission. Permission to stop doing. Permission to stop fixing. Permission to let the moment arrive without being improved. I remove the spoon carefully and rest it on the saucer. There's a small sound when metal meets porcelain, soft, respectful, like knocking before entering a quiet room. I take the first sip slowly, not because it's hot, but because this part matters. Chamomile never rushes me. It doesn't demand attention. It simply stays warm long enough for me to remember how to slow down. I set the cup back on the table and notice how the light catches the steam, faint, almost shy. Some evenings feel exactly like that. They don't announce themselves. They wait to be noticed. There was a time when I drank tea, standing at the counter, half listening to the radio, thinking about what needed to happen next. I thought efficiency was the same as care. It isn't. Care lingers. This small ceremony, cup, chair, lamp, breath, it's something I return to because it reminds me that I still belong to myself. No one is asking me for anything right now, and that is a kind of luxury. Lily adjusted again, her tail brushing the side of my shoe. She always waits until I've taken that first sip, as if the evening doesn't officially begin until then. Animals understand ritual better than we do. They don't rush through it. They live inside it. I take another sip, smaller this time, and let it rest where it lands. Not every comfort needs to reach the heart to do its work. Sometimes I think tea teaches us how to receive. You don't grab it. You don't hurry it. You meet it at the temperature it offers. Earlier today, I rinsed this cup and noticed a faint line near the rim, a hairline crack that's been there for years. It doesn't leak. It doesn't weaken the cup. It simply tells the truth about time. I like things that have learned how to hold warmth despite their history. Sweetheart, if tonight feels like too much, you don't need to take big sips. Small ones count. Even holding the cup is enough. We'll stay here a little longer. The tea will keep us company. I don't notice it right away. The moment when my shoulders begin to lower. It happens quietly, the way most important things do. My hands rest in my lap now, not folded, just placed. There's a difference. For most of the day, we hold ourselves as if we're waiting to be called upon, even when no one is asking, even when the room is empty. It takes the body a while to believe it's safe to stop. Lily stretches and resettles, pressing a little closer. Her warmth reaches me through the fabric of my skirt, steady, unquestioning. She doesn't watch the clock. She doesn't review the day. She simply trusts that this moment is enough. I follow her example. My jaw softens. The small muscles around my eyes loosen. I hadn't realized how tightly I'd been holding them. We carry so much effort in places no one can see. I rest my heel more firmly on the floor and feel the weight of myself return, not as burden, but as presence. The body likes being acknowledged. When Lily sighs, it's always long and unguarded, like she's letting the night know she's done for the day. I let my breath follow hers, in and out. No counting, no instruction, just company. I shift slightly, and the chair responds, not in protest, but recognition. Old furniture has a way of adjusting with you. There was a time when I thought rest had to be earned, that you had to complete the list, prove your usefulness, exhaust yourself properly. I don't believe that anymore. Rest is not a reward. It's a requirement. Lily's breathing has slowed now. I can feel the rhythm of it, calm, dependable. Her body trusts the night to hold her. I place my palm briefly on my knee, a small grounding touch. Sometimes the body just needs to know you haven't forgotten it. If your own body is still holding on somewhere, in your neck, your chest, your hands, you don't need to force it to let go. Just notice. That's often enough. Sweetheart, nothing else is required of you right now. The day has had its say. The evening is listening. She's nearly asleep now. And if you are too, that's perfectly all right. We'll continue when the body is ready. I don't raise my voice for this part. Blessings work better when they arrive softly. The lamp keeps its steady glow beside me, not brighter, not dimmer, as if it understands it's only here to hold the space, not to fill it. I lift the cup again, just enough to feel the warmth return to my palms. Not every comfort needs to travel farther than the hands. Before I take another sip, I want to speak to you, not to a room, not to a night, not to the quiet, but to the person who chose to stay. If today asked more of you than you expected, if it took patience you weren't sure you still had, if you did everything that needed doing and still felt behind, this blessing is for you. May your effort be enough, even if no one noticed it. May the things you didn't finish wait patiently for another day, and may the parts of you that stayed kind, even when tired, be held gently tonight. I don't bless you with answers. Those can be heavy. I bless you with rest, kind that doesn't need to be justified. May your shoulders remember how to drop an inch. May your jaw loosen without instruction. May your breath find its own rhythm again. If your thoughts are still circling, that's all right. They'll tire themselves out eventually. Thoughts, like children, calm down faster when they know someone is nearby. I shift just a little, making sure I'm settled too. Blessings don't come from standing above. They come from sitting alongside. Lily moved again, a soft, sleepy adjustment. She's found that exact position where the night fits her just right. Animals don't ask permission to rest. They accept it when it arrives. I take a small sip now, barely enough to taste the chamomile, and let it pass without commentary. I set the cup down, careful not to break the quiet. If there's something you wish you'd said today, something you wish you'd done differently, let it rest here for a moment. You don't need to resolve it tonight. I bless you with unfinished things because they mean you're still living, still reaching, still becoming. May the night not rush you. May sleep come without demands. And if sleep takes its time, may you feel no pressure to chase it. There's an old kind of kindness in allowing yourself to be as you are, unimproved, unedited, and still worthy of warmth. If no one told you today, you did enough. You are enough. The lamp hums quietly beside us. The room holds steady. Nothing is asking to be fixed. Sweetheart, carry this blessing with you, not as a task, but as permission. We'll let the night do the rest. The night has shifted now, not dramatically, just enough to be felt. It's the kind of change that happens when nothing more is required of us. I reach for the cup one last time, not to drink, but to acknowledge it. The warmth has softened, the way good company does when it knows it's time to rest. There, that feels right. The lamp hums beside me, steady, faithful. It doesn't flicker. It doesn't rush me. Some lights know when their work is almost done. I lean forward slowly, placing my hands on the arms of the chair, and stand. Not all at once, not with effort, but with care. The body appreciates being consulted. Lily doesn't lift her head. She knows this part. Her breathing stays even, trusting that the room will remain exactly as it is. I straighten the edge of the blanket on the chair, an unnecessary gesture, but a familiar one. Endings feel gentler when something is left in order. I walk a few steps toward the door, then pause. I always do. Some evenings deserve one last look. The lamp casts its circle across the room, touching the places it knows best. The table, the chair, the quiet space where you've been sitting with me. I don't turn the light off yet. Not tonight. It will stay on a little longer, keeping watch while the night finishes its work. The door closes with a soft sound, not a separation, just a boundary. The kind that says, "You're safe here." As I stand in the hallway, I listen, not for noise, but for stillness. The house answers in its own language. Sweetheart, thank you for sharing this evening with me, for sitting quietly, for breathing when you remembered, for resting when you could. If sleep finds you quickly, let it take you. If it lingers at the edge, that's all right too. The night knows your name. I'll leave the light on, just enough. The room will hold its shape. The quiet will stay kind. And when morning comes, it will come gently. Rest well tonight, sweetheart.